Will you do another album then? We need to have this album of the college years, surely.
The college days album.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that.
I feel like that's a good vibe. Let's make it happen. We're pitching it right now.
All right, I'm in.
I feel like for our young stars, especially when they're women, there's so much almost like sexist pressure that we put on them to perform in a certain way, act like in a certain way. How did pressure play out for you in that kind of scenario?
For sure there was pressure because even when you're not on TV or acting or anything, just growing up, there's a lot of pressure to try to figure so many things out. So I think the main thing that makes it more difficult being on TV is just that so many people are watching you. But I feel like when I was younger, I didn't think about it as much as I do now. Looking back, I think that seems like it would have been really hard. but when I was doing it, I wasn't really thinking about it as much. I was more just kind of living my life. But even to this day, I guess I still think about like the young girls that watch the show and even as an adult, like the people that grew up that are my age now that watch the show, I always want to, try to make the best choices because for myself, but also because I have them in the back of my mind.
I think that's what's so amazing about the reboot of the show because it is about exploring, making decisions in adulthood.
Yeah.
And it also pushes the narrative forward and it's more representative of the world we live in, which is so incredible. And especially being like an exec producer on this as well, right? Was this an example of you kind of finding your voice in new ways, do you think?
Definitely, because when I did the original show, I was just trying to learn the lines and do the best job I could do when I was a kid. And getting to come back and work with Jerry and Nathan and all be producers on the show and get to be such a big part of the writing process and even the editing, that really took me by surprise because the editing of the show, it can change the show so much, which takes you choose and everything. So to get to be in the editing room and a part of all those things, I just feel like I've learned so much that when they first called and mentioned maybe doing a revival of the show, I didn't really think about all that. I just thought, how would I feel playing the character again? Is it a good idea? But I didn't think about all the different experiences I'd have and what I'd learn. And it is kind of similar to when I was younger. I feel like I'm an adult now, but there's still so much room to grow. And I feel like it's been a big learning experience throughout my life being a part of the show.
And it's a real coming-of-age show, isn't it? What's been like a coming-of-age moment for you?
Well, I would say similar to Carly on the show, the first episode back was so much like how I felt in real life because it's all about Carly deciding if she wants to start the show up again and if it's a good idea and second guessing herself and feeling like maybe she should leave it in the past. And that was exactly my dilemma in real life. So, that was just another, I guess, example of kind of working through something in an episode of the show that I'm going through in my real life.
I mean, everyone goes through those moments of self-doubt, don't they? When they're like, shall I make decisions? Shall I not make this decision? How have you learned to kind of like quieten your self-doubt at different points, would you say?
I think that the people around me have helped a lot because when you have good friends that you've known for a long time, I think that's probably the most helpful thing just because whenever I'm having a real moment where I don't know what to do and I kind of just freeze up and don't want to make a decision at all, I know I have like 2 or 3 people that I'm really close with that I can call and tell and they'll give me like really good advice. So I would say that's probably been the most helpful.
And you built such incredible friendships on the show, off the show. How have those friendships really helped you at different times?
Nathan and Jerry, I couldn't be more grateful for having them in my life because I don't have any siblings, and I feel like Jerry, he plays my brother on iCarly, and I've just always felt like such a connection with him. Like, he's my brother in real life. And same thing with Nathan. Nathan, we're the same age, so it's a little bit of a different friendship, but same thing. Like, I feel like I could call either of them and, like, ask for help with anything, and they would be there. So yeah, I'm just so grateful that I got to meet them and grow up with them.
It's so special to have that community, both on screen, off screen, and teach people that as well. I think that's what's so special about the show because it's all about going on those journeys of like self-discovery too, isn't it? Where you're discovering yourself, discovering who you like, discovering what you want to do. For you, what's been some turning points in your kind of like self-discovery and your relationship with yourself?
I would say being an executive producer on this show, that was a turning point in my life because I'm kind of a more quiet person, even though I guess Carly's she's a little introverted, but is more outgoing than I am in real life. I feel like it's kind of been a challenge at times playing a character that's like more like sure of herself than I would say I am. But I think that was a turning point taking on the executive producer role because all of a sudden you're looked to for so many different things and you have to really kind of step up to the bat and be able to take that on. And I think it's left me, getting to do it for the last couple seasons has left me feeling a lot stronger and like more sure of myself.
Yeah, because this is what our podcast is all about. It's all about celebrating those moments of power. Do you feel like that was a moment when you stepped into your power? And what have been some turning points in you taking control of your power?
I would say also after the original iCarly ended, I went to college and I hadn't gone to regular school for the first time. Like I hadn't been in a regular school situation since 5th grade. I'd been doing homeschooling and schooling with tutors on set. So that kind of felt like a moment when I was stepping into my power, just because I'd been acting for so long and I really made the choice to kind of let that go for a minute and see what a college experience would be like. And it wasn't just about having the college experience, but also figuring out if there were other things I might really enjoy beyond acting, since that was pretty much all I'd ever done since I was little. So that felt good because it felt like I really did it for myself, and I'm happy that I got to have that experience.
What was that like, stepping out of the spotlight in that way and then literally kind of having a normal life for like the first time in a way? What was that experience like?
My life really took a huge turn when I did that. Like, my whole life changed. But it was awesome. I made a lot of friends, and I got to, just take classes that I was interested in. I tried photography, and I ended up majoring in psychology. And it was just a really, like, a solid, good experience. And I'm happy that I came back to acting because I feel like it led me back. Like, I realized acting is really my passion, and it's what I love to do most. But if I hadn't done that, I wouldn't know.
That's such a powerful moment to have that realization, isn't it?
Yeah, I think I would have always wondered, what if I tried something else? Just because when you start doing something when you're so young, it kind of makes you think, like, I hope I didn't miss out on, something else I might love.
Yeah. Because you can get conditioned into it, right? I guess if you just keep doing something for so long without taking a break, you actually can't gauge what your actual opinions on it sometimes, I guess, right? And if you're actually loving it, if you're not loving it, it's quite a difficult thing to go through.
Yeah, definitely. Even with writing songs and stuff, I remember when I was really young, I would go in to write the songs, and the different people I was co-writing with would be like, what's the craziest thing that happened with a guy you were dating recently? And I'd be thinking, like, I don't know, I didn't really have any crazy stories because I wasn't really having a real high school or middle school experience. So my experiences were different. So I felt like I didn't have that. And then when I went to college, I remember thinking I should have done an album now because now I have all these stories and things that are happening to me and stuff to pull from that I might have not really had before.
Yeah. Will you do another album then? We need to have this album of the college years, surely.
The college days album.
Yeah.
Maybe I should do that.
Yeah, I feel like that's a good vibe. Let's make it happen. We're pitching it right now.
All right, I'm in.
But I mean, it's so amazing because you've achieved so much already in your life. And I guess we all have those moments where we do get that kind of the other voices from other people, the external criticism can weigh so heavily on you at different points, can't it?
Right, all the comments. I think that's another thing that's hard for everybody. It doesn't matter if you're on a show or not. Everybody gets comments on their Instagram page, and it's hard not to take some of those things to heart. So, I would say that's definitely one of the worst, the bad sides of the internet, because it's nice getting nice comments, but then just being on the internet for anyone to comment on is kind of a weird place to be in.
And it also becomes a point where you have to start not giving the positive comments as much weight as the negative comments as well, because you just need to get to a balance within it, don't you?
Yeah, and sometimes especially when I was younger, I would go through and kind of ignore all the nice comments and look for the one mean one. I would be going through for a while and be like, oh, found it. Which is the worst thing you can do when you're on the internet, because if you look long enough, you're going to find something negative and you're going to be upset about it.
And you'll just focus on that one comment and you'll be like,
yeah, and then it's in your head and you're trying not be whatever that comment said, and it's just a waste of time.
With that in mind, how have you learned to look after your mental well-being in that kind of very public arena as well? What have been some turning points in that for you?
Well, I definitely try not to read comments like I used to, because I love it when people, it's awesome that people are really positive a lot of the time and say nice things. And I love, especially now getting to be a producer on the show, I love reading, what people think of all the storylines and stuff, because I'm a part of it. So I want to know what people enjoy about it. And that's the best feeling. But yeah, I try my best not to, let it be too big a part of my life, just because you don't really know who's writing these things, and sometimes they're not worth focusing on, and they can make you feel bad for the day, and it's not worth messing up a day. So Yeah, I would say I just try to let it kind of like roll off my back more, a lot more than when I was younger.
Yeah. How do you look after yourself, would you say?
Probably just, having close friends, and I'm really close with like my mom and dad, my family, and I think that's always been really helpful when, being in the entertainment business and navigating things.
Yeah, so good to have that strong community
Yeah,
around
just to
you,
know
isn't
you
it?
have that is, for anyone, even if you're not in the entertainment business, that's like a really nice thing to know. You have all these people that really care about you to fall back on.
Yeah.